Now, nation, we all know that metal and music is an international endeavor. It's not something that's just selective to one continent. And there's a country that I realize I really don't think I've touched base on yet. And that country is Taiwan. The band is Chthonic. Now, if I said that wrong, please forgive me. Why? Because I don't understand ancient Greek. However, TAKASAGO Army, I do understand. That's the new album by Chthonic, which is, should I say, was released on July the 6th. And hopefully will be coming to America very soon to a store near you. I haven't seen any copies in my store yet, but I'm hoping that they are coming. If not, special orders are available. Now, this is a Taiwanese band that combines both black metal, symphonic elements, and their own little spin. They use Far Eastern instruments, which is something that, well, using different instruments is kind of common in metal. It's something where that explorative feat is something that really is kind of strived for a little bit. A lot of times you'll see me say that variety is key. And this is something, by using these Far Eastern instruments, this is something where that variety becomes an integral part to what this album is able to really do. What this album does in 10 tracks is deliver a very, very original, not to mention very solid piece of music. It seems very conceptual, not to mention the instrumentalization, the songcraft, the songwriting, and everything brought together is nothing short of fantastic. And they definitely went through this album with a very fine-toothed comb. They wanted to make sure that every riff, they wanted to make sure that every note, every second was gold and was part of their vision. They didn't want any stone to be left unturned. This album shows that a little bit of innovation mixed with some creative leaps is certainly something that can really aid a band and really make them stand out in a crowd. Now, there are progressive influences here as well. Not to mention there are also songs such as Takao, which have an opening that will stay in your head for a very long time. I mean, let's face it, this is an intro that you could easily hum. That, combined with everything else, creates a fantastic record. It creates one of these records that would be a sleeper, and probably will continue to be a sleeper throughout this entire year. This is a record that I think may not get the real attention that it deserves, or the respect that it deserves. Maybe this is a record that people will like for a week, but then they'll ease off on it. Not me. I really enjoyed this record. I think that the diversity, the different instruments, not to mention the very tight songwriting and the very well executed and flawless nature in which they were able to produce and replicate this upon the audience is very well done. So I got to give these Taiwanese guys just a lot of credit. Overall, this album's up there. This is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. And while I may have given that score to some albums before, this one's kind of bridging that gap and getting closer to an 8.75. This is surprisingly, well, a surprise. Not to sound redundant. This is something that came out of nowhere. One of you guys suggested it to me in a blog TV, and now look, I'm giving it praise. I do try to listen to you guys every so often. coverkillernation, I would speak Taiwanese if I knew it. But all I can say is thank you and good night.